hotness, and welcome back to another edition of the Restaurant Magic Show. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I'm just really happy that you guys are taking the time to listen and getting this good information from the owners and chefs and fellow foodies that we have on, and we just want to say thank you. And I also have my co-host, Sweetly. Sweetly, hello.
Hey, audience. So glad you guys are listening today.
Yes, we're just so happy that you guys are here. And we're going to go ahead and hop into the show. We have a very unique, I would say, guest we have, because we met her at the Terabita Food Festival, and she had all these different types of herbs and wellness and organic teas that she was selling. We were just so taken with her and her mother, actually, who was there. But we thought it would be a good show so the audience can learn a little bit more about how to stay healthy and to eat the right things and just try to have a little bit more nutritional, I guess, sustenance in your body. Not nutritional food, but just things to make your body healthier and your mind sharper. So welcome, Hannah. Her company name is Poppysol. So welcome, Hannah. How are you doing today?
Hey there. I'm doing really well. I appreciate you both having me on this show and being interested in what I'm doing.
Yes, we are. I got a chance to taste some of your teas at the festival, and it was awesome. So just tell our audience a little bit about how you got started. And you make these teas yourself, correct? How you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a small business in Chatham County, North Carolina, and I started growing a bunch of my own herbs, both medicinal and culinary, in about September of 2017. And I'd always been interested in kind of flavor and how, wellness is related. We're not going to taste or eat something that we don't really also enjoy, even if we think it's for our health, So a big part of what I try to do is to make sure a tea blend I make or a tincture that I make also has an element of tasting good so that people will be attracted to it.
And how did you get started in doing this? Like, did you just grow up gardening and looking at the herbs and be like, I got to get my hands all in this? Like, how did you just know that was your calling to do?
Yeah, not even. I feel like it's been an interesting kind of winding path. I did, you mentioned my mom. I did grow up in a family where my mom was very into plants, and I thought, oh, that's mom's thing, she can do that. I need to find my own path, And so in a roundabout way, I actually ended up going to social work school, and then I ended up working for a coffee roaster, and I would travel a lot for work in that field. And I would often get a little stomach upset or, just kind of traveler's sickness. And folks in the field would always offer, nature's remedy, which was, as I came to learn more and more, that is what most of the world relies on, is kind of what is in their backyard, so to speak. And I just got really interested in, both the availability of it and then just the ability to connect with plants at that level kind of really spoke to me. And, I came back and I was just kind of hungry for local plant interactions in that way.
That is really fascinating to me. Go ahead, Sweetly.
No, I was going to say, I know when I was there, one of the teas that you had was for, like, sleeping well and things of that nature. How do certain herbs play a part of that in your body to help you rest?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, in that blend, there's some kind of classic, well-known herbs that people would probably resonate with, like lavender and chamomile, and those have just been used throughout the ages as just kind of a calming, not a sedative. A sedative is kind of going to knock you out. And I think what I like about the plants is that they aren't super strong. There's a gentleness to working with them, and so they're accessible in that regard as well. And chamomile is like super safe for kids too. That's one that's kind of used in a lot of different cultures as well.
Okay, one of your products that I was like really interested in trying out was the Bueno Brain Boost. Because, as we get older, we need help with our memory. And I was just like, that's a great idea. Just something, you can probably take it on a daily basis. But can you share with the audience what it is and how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. And, so a lot, I'm not a big, I don't know, I probably should not the best person to own a small business because I don't really push my products, And, a lot of my best ideas, I think, come because it's a request from the community, So this blend actually came because someone was expressing interest in improving their memory and improving their brain circulation and kind of not wanting to experience that brain fog that, like you said, often comes with aging. So I put together a blend that includes rosemary, I think most people have seen that growing or passed that by on the street side, and it is, they say, rosemary for remembrance. That's a tagline of that plant itself, so of course that had to go in there. And then bacopa is another plant that is in that blend. And that is a plant that is actually indigenous to India. It is or a tropical plant. It is an Ayurvedic medicine plant, and it is a really neat one that also just kind of it looks almost like the nervous system, and so it kind of clues you into the fact that it would be good for that, and it grows in sort of like a wetter area, so it's kind of helping with that like brain hydration, also. And then so there's two more. There's the milky oats in there, and that's really just oats that are harvested at a specific stage, which is called the milky stage. And oats are really looked to for supporting nervous system function. So that's got to be in there. And then lemon balm is the last one, which is just a personal favorite plant of mine, just from the way it smells to the way it tastes. And then it has this added benefit of uplifting your mood. So, if there's any sort of sadness associated with losing some of that cognitive function, this is kind of brighten you right up.
I think that's awesome. I really do.
Thank you. I'm excited about that blend. I actually just sold, so I just started selling. I was doing only 1 ounce increments like you guys saw at the festival, and someone said to me, you're never sure if people are going to take it at the recommended dose or not, and someone started taking it at the actual recommended dose, and she ran out in like 3 days. And so I said, oh, well, I'm happy to, do a 2 and a 4 ounce option as well. So she just bought a 4 ounce tincture jar, which was great.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know, audience. Hannah's making more because the customers are demanding it.
There you go.
Yes. And while we're talking about customers, why don't you tell us how we can get a hold of you and all these good products, Hannah?
Yeah, absolutely. So the majority of my sales I do through my website, and that is www.poppysolnc. So that's POPPYSOLNC.com. And I also offer free local delivery. I really enjoy being able to do that for folks as an option.
Awesome.
Okay, and you're in Carborough. Is that where you are?
Well, I actually have a Pittsboro address, so I'm closest to Saxapahaw, but I'm also close to Carborough, Chapel Hill, and Pittsboro. Yeah.
Okay, and of course, customers, they can order and have it shipped to them as well.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and so I'm looking at your website, so I see the teas, I see bath salts, and these body balms, and the other. Tell me about the body balm. How did you get involved in making and creating those for people?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of my goals is to, I think I've said it already, is kind of make plant medicine accessible. And so tea is kind of a good entry point for folks that aren't sure what a tincture is, but something topical is a great way to start interacting with plants if you're a little bit doubtful or just curious. And so the idea behind the balms, I make a few different ones. One is a joint and muscle balm that has arnica and then a bunch of warming spices, including the cayenne for the capsaicin elements for the pain. And I just, I really enjoy it because it's basically, so it's an herbally infused oil that you let sit in this sort of maceration of oil and plant material for a while, and then you're straining that out, and I add local beeswax to give it that hardening consistency that I want, and then also essential oils into a couple of them as well. I'm actually teaching a class on December 15th about how to make your own herbal salve or herbal balm.
Oh, wow. And how often do you teach classes so people can, learn how to do this themselves if they want to? How often do you do that?
Yeah, I'm trying to teach about 4 classes a year at this point. So in January, I'll kind of brainstorm about what those will be for the coming year. And on my website, you can get on my newsletter, which is a great way to just stay informed. I don't bombard people at all. I usually just send out kind of 2 or 3 emails and share what the year ahead is going to look like, or what classes are coming up, or what's happening on the farm, and that kind of thing.
And with the herbs that you have to use, I was wondering that if they're like seasonal, or is there a certain time that you can make certain things and sometimes you can't make the other, or are they year-round herbs?
That's a great question. Yeah, especially because we're in, kind of fall, winter right now. So it really does vary season to season. And there are some herbs that I would harvest kind of from, September through March through October. And then others where it's just like that small window, like echinacea flowers kind of throughout the whole summer. So that's one that I would be harvesting all summer long. Lemon balm is another one I'd be harvesting kind of all summer long. And I'm experimenting, honestly. Just I think part of what I love about this profession is it's a constant learning. And so, lavender had a bit of a shorter harvest season, and so you're kind of just trying to keep it cozy the rest of the year and keep it alive and give it the nutrients it needs. And, there's always something to do.
Well, lavender is one of my favorites. So is that year-round?
So it is a perennial plant, which means that it lives year-round, and if we're lucky, it comes back every year. But it only flowers really for about a month or two of the summer. So I'm only harvesting it in that kind of full flower height of production time.
All right, listeners, if you guys are knowing about herbs now, we're just learning everything. This is so exciting to me.
And I love it.
Where do you see yourself about 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself?
Oh, man, I like this. I think visioning is so important, right, for any creative career. I think I really just want to be getting the plants in more people's hands, whatever that looks like. I just kind of started a partnership with a spot in downtown Pittsburgh where I'll be able to have consultation hours and see clients who want to talk about their holistic health goals and how to incorporate plants. And that has been kind of a slow build for me, and I'm really hoping that will catch on a little bit more and people will want to talk about how to set goals and achieve them with the plants with me. And then I'm also really hoping that my land will kind of continue to be a teaching space. And, I just have ideas upon ideas of things I want this land to be so that people can come and visit at least once or twice a year for open houses and classes and kind of just see that it's not as hard as they might think to grow their own plants.
Well, you got a lot in store, and we're excited about it. Aren't you, Hotness?
I am, and I was just listening to Hannah talk about, her vision and what she has planned. Is there anything you would want to relate to anyone else who's looking to do a similar journey as you in regards to, gardening and harvesting, doing teas and creating herbs? What advice would you have someone looking to do what you're doing?
Yeah, I think I would say two things maybe. Start small. That's some advice that was told to me over and over again, which I halfway listened to. But I think, it's amazing what you can do with a small space. So starting small is one. And then also, I think it is a really big playing field. And I would say to people, what you offer is unique to you and important, and no one else can do it exactly like you do. So don't try to replicate a mold that already exists out there. I think it's helpful and needed and just makes all of us richer if people are kind of pushing forward what they want to do.
Well, that sounds really, really good. And it is important to be authentic, to be yourself, because if you try to do somebody else's stuff, then it's not going to come out right. So that is really, really some good advice. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And do you have anybody helping you with all of this? Anybody we need to give kudos to?
Oh, goodness. Mostly my mom. You like how she's featured in this whole story? She loves coming out here, which is so helpful. And, I'm a little bit particular about how I want the plants handled. And so it's not, not just anyone can come out, and it's not for lack of offers. People definitely offer to come and help. And so there are some things like more physical labor that I definitely reach out to folks for, mulching and things like that. But I think that next year I will start exploring having a little bit more regular support, because my sweet mama is getting older, and I know that she loves being out here, but it would be great to have some ongoing kind of strength and support in that way.
Well, that's great. And because we don't want you to wear yourself out fast and then it'd be like, oh my God. Yeah. So, get the help, train them right. I bet you if they love what you're doing as much as you do, that's the key. You got to find somebody that loves what you're doing as much as you do and want to put in the work.
Yes, and we thank your mom tremendously for helping out Poppysol, because without her, you wouldn't be here. But
it's true on so many levels.
Yeah, so audience, do check out Hannah's website. She has like garden consultations, teas, body balms, bath salts, and just things that your body naturally needs. And you may not even be aware of it, right, Sweetly?
That's right. Poppysol. I love that name. Where did you get that name from?
Thank you. Yeah, so this was an idea that was hatched actually before there was even a business. Wouldn't you know?
Wow.
A friend of mine, so growing up, my last name is Popish. One of my nicknames growing up was always Poppy. Or H-Pop, and then my middle name actually is Solomon, and so now everyone knows everything about me. But so the first three letters, S-O-L, of Solomon, and then it also happens to be sun in Spanish, and I'm bilingual, so that is a service that I like to be able to offer people. So it just felt like the perfect marriage in terms of, kind of connecting folks, triggering that connection to the earth, and then also a little bit about my name and my history.
Well, I love it because I thought the first time I saw your name, I was like, oh, Hannah's selling puppies. And you're like, no.
I know. I was like, rewind. Trying to keep it legal.
Only the hotness. She's
yes, I'm so bad. But before we wrap up, before I toss it over to Sweetly, I keep looking at this something called warming digestive bitters. What is that?
Yeah, that's a good one, and especially for this season that we're coming up on, I kind of give it a push at the holiday season. So bitters are, it's one of kind of nature's oldest ways of taking care of our digestive system. So it can be found in nature in a number of places, like dandelion leaf and root, and that is actually, dandelion root is one of the things in those warming bitters. But what it is, basically, I put together, again, a very tasty combination of herbs and spices that their main goal is to kind of trigger your pancreas to then excrete more digestive juices. So, that doesn't sound very nice, but the idea is if you're eating something really rich and really heavy and you're wanting to treat yourself to that, delicious pumpkin pie or, all those mashed potatoes, that it's really nice to also help your body digest that and kind of process the fat in a way that it might not be able to by itself. So I take that kind of either before a meal preemptively if I think I'm going to really indulge, or if I'm like, oops, I did indulge and now I need a little help.
Oh, okay. Wow. So we learned something, hotness.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we both need that, Sweetly, because you know how we love to indulge. So I think we need these warming digestive bitters ASAP.
Put the order in.
I know, right?
Well, we have so enjoyed you, Hannah, and thank you so much for taking the time to just fill us with knowledge about herbs and what you can do with them. It's just amazing. And thank you for doing something out of the ordinary, because you don't see much of this around. So anything to help us with our minds, with our rest, anything to help us with our bodies to continue to do the things that God has us to do, and the wonderful gifts. We just thank you for it. Any other questions you have, Hotness?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I'm just going to ask Hannah one more time to share with the audience how they can find her, your Instagram, Twitter. Just please say that one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to say a quick thank you also to you both for being so interested and for wanting to share this kind of work with another audience. It really means a lot to me. So thank you for that. And my website is www.poppysolnc.com. Again, that's POPPYSOLNC.com. And I am an Instagram person and a Facebook person, but not a Twitter person. Only so many social media things I can handle. But I do post quite a lot on Instagram, and it's PoppySolNC is my handle on Instagram, and I'm usually almost every day doing some stories about what's up on the farm, and so it's a fun way to connect with the plants as well.
Cool. And guess what? The Hotness and Sweetly, we saw you, and we love to share everything that we learned. So listen, audience, take heed. This has been the Hotness and Sweetly. Check it out. That's me. Well, Poppysol is all about. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Hey, girl, that's a nice T-shirt you're wearing. Where did you get it?
I got it from TeamJesusClothing.com.
Really? I like the messaging and the colors. They're so vibrant.
Yes, TeamJesusClothing.com has a lot of t-shirts and hoodies with encouraging messages. They have styles for both men and women.
Wow, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to TeamJesusClothing.com to place my order now.
Yes, definitely go to TeamJesusClothing.com and be sure to check out my favorite shirt designs, Team Jesus and Won't He Do It?
I can't wait. TeamJesusClothing.com, here I come.